The Invite is out in theaters, latest film from Olivia Wilde, starring herself, Seth Rogen, Penelope Cruz, and Edward Norton. Interestingly, this is a remake of a Spanish film called Sentimental, which not only was released as recently as 2020, but has now been remade 7 different times. 2022, an Italian version, 2023, Switzerland, 2024, France, Russia, and Czech Republic, 2025, South Korea, and now this, a Hollywood version, which makes sense when you consider it's a good story, a good script, and it only contains 4 actors in a single apartment, which means it's relatively easy to recreate. The story starts with a married couple, Wilde and Rogan, at a stage in their lives where they argue much more than they agree. The flame is obviously long gone. They invite their upstairs neighbors for dinner at their apartment. And the neighbors are played by Cruz and Norton, obviously. And the neighbors, coincidentally, have been very loud in the past with their sexual noises. What follows then is a night of unexpected twists and turns, exploring relationships, sexual desires, and experimentation. The film has played at the festival circuit and started a bidding war for distribution rights, which eventually A24 won. And you can kind of see why there was so much interest in going on. It's a really solid mixture of comedy and drama, witty, well written, well acted, well shot. I think the impressive thing about it is that it's a very stagey film with limited locations and actors, yet it never feels stagey. It feels cinematic. And the reason why it's very well directed. The camera placement in relation to the actors in relation to themselves, the often very inventive shots and blocking, such as the cut to Olivia Wilde crouching next to the oven, or her in the shower when she's doing the house tour, or Edward Norton emerging from the behind the couch in the final act, just hilarious. I think it's evident that Olivia Wilde knows how to plan and shoot things in a way that makes them engaging and interesting. And coincidentally, at the same time, she gives possibly the best performance in the film. The film, as a result of her, directorial expertise, is never boring and honestly feels a bit like a companion piece to the drama, which remains my favorite movie of this year so far. But whereas that film was about a relationship at a stage where you're just about to commit and get married, this is at a later stage where the marriage is already drying up. Some great jokes, some interesting observations about relationships, being explored, solid music and cinematography and editing. The one thing that I think went a little bit too far was how often the dialogue would be people shouting all over each other, all at the same time, all very loud, especially Wilde and Rogan. And I understand that was the point about their shit communication, and it was also meant to create this feeling of chaos and anxiety for the viewer. But still, at times, it felt a little bit too overwhelming. Otherwise, though, solid film. Definitely enjoyed myself. So did the many people at my screening, judging from the enthusiastic reactions to it. And I think it's an easy film to like by a fairly wide range of audiences.